Hello, it's Jolene. Today we will cover a short and sweet little exercise about whether or not you have been judgmental. So we can be judgmental in so many different ways of situations, of other people, or maybe of ourselves with our self-critic just coming up and beating yourself up. This exercise is called the pin, and it goes like this. Take several moments, as long as you need to, the longer the better, to come up with as many adjectives as you can about this pen. So really look at it, interact with it, use your five senses, and determine, words that would describe this pen, and write all of those adjectives down on a piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with this notepad here, and you can pause this video and we'll talk about what this means afterwards. So time for the reflective part of this activity. If you do it for a long time, you might start getting existential with it, like asking yourself, what makes a pen a pen? And as you continue, you might notice that there are more and more judgment words that come up. So I'm just gonna go over some examples that I wrote down. I started out with saying it's black. It's size 0.7 for the thickness. It's smooth, useful, new, reliable, inspirational. It's made in Japan because I saw Japan on it, and it's of average size. But you could add a lot more adjectives to this based on how you see pens. You might notice that something even as objective as a pen can lead to many different interpretations outside of fact. And that is because comparison leads to judgment, and comparison has to do a lot with our past. Some of the first adjectives I wrote were indeed fact, so like black, 0.7 size, but it starts getting into judgment or interpretations when I bring my past to it. So words like useful or reliable, I'm comparing it with other maybe crappier versions of pens that I've used before. That makes me make a judgment call on this pen. Even if it's a good judgment, it's still an interpretation based on my past. So you can see how you can go very quickly from the present to the past for ways to interpret things, people, or situations. This is totally easy and natural for humans to stray away from fact. And this is the reason why the same situation may have occurred to so many people, but everyone will view the situation a bit differently based on the lens they have on, or the schemas they have of the world, their tendencies of thinking, and their past experiences. For instance, a lot of people may associate flowers with happiness or romanticism, but someone who has been stung by a bee while in a flower field may not like flowers so much and actually have a more anxiety response to it. The practice connected with this is to, as you go about your life in different situations, look at the fact of the situation rather than the interpretations that are connected to your past. And this goes with judging other people and also judging yourself as well. This is especially helpful for people who have a really strong self-critic. It gets you to put your thoughts on trial. So what is the evidence for and against this thought? And what is fact? What is not? And how would an objective witness view this situation? It helps us separate from unhelpful thoughts that are taking up a lot of space in our mind. It takes effort to slow down and ask yourself these questions and reflect on, is this a judgment or a fact? But once you continue doing it, it'll become more and more natural, and I hope it brings you some compassion for the situation, the others, and for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you well in taking care of yourself, and see you next time.